Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Cobern, and today's episode is a quarterback preview of the 2018 NFL Draft Class with Jake Browning, quarterback out of Washington. Now, of course, Jake Browning is one of the quarterbacks that I highlighted in the top 5 best quarterbacks according to analytics. And these are Jake Browning's analytics taken at first glance. When it comes to his high school production, he scored 96.21 out of 100, which hits all the marks that you're trying to look for when it comes to Pro Bowl potential quarterbacks. He also hit a pretty decent complete QB stat score of 89.51 out of 100, which is almost at all pro level. That's something that I think will happen this year in particular. I think that'll bump him up a bit decently when it comes to his production. And we're going to get into a little bit of his film. I mean, that's kind of what I want to end it up with. You know, based on the data, he's someone that I think should be considered a potential Pro Bowl quarterback, or a quarterback that we should definitely be following throughout the process. And let's get into some film. And based on his film, just to kind of preview the film work, essentially, he has a lot of positives. He has a lot of positive things to his game. There's a lot of things that he does that are inconsistent, and a couple big red flags as well. He's shown the ability to do many different things on film that are interesting, that are compelling, but he just needs to become a much more consistent player in the long term, and that's what I hope to see going forward. So we're going to get into his film, and I will see you on the other side. So one of the first places to look with Jake Browning, and this is something that doesn't get talked a lot about, is his ball handling. He's very good in terms of just his ability with play fakes, play action work, really great attention to detail. Very just consistently, every time I see him do anything with regards to ball handling, ball security, you name it, he does that exceptionally well. And these are just a couple examples of his ability to execute those assignments very well. The next point of emphasis with Jake Browning is short accuracy. He's very good. It's probably the best aspect of Jake Browning is just his short accuracy, hitting kind of throws outside the boundary and in the short area of the field. Very good in terms of timing and quickness to release the football. And these are just a couple examples of him hitting some short throws very well. And he does this exceptionally well when he has a clean pocket. And these are just a couple examples of Browning when it comes to this particular trait. Then next up we have intermediate accuracy, particularly outside the hash to the boundary of the field. These are just the money throws when it comes to Browning. If you want to find the one types of throws with Browning that make you go, he has a pretty decent shot of becoming an NFL quarterback, or at least being something interesting, it would be these types of intermediate throws, outside the hash, on time type of throws. He shows pretty good accuracy when it comes to those throws, and these are a couple of examples of that. The next up is pocket presence / poise in the pocket. A lot of the clips I'm going to show at the very end of the video is going to kind of contradict this statement, but there are examples on film where he shows good poise, good presence in the pocket. able to deliver throws with people in his face, if you will, at times. So he shows good pocket presence, he shows good poise, but just for whatever reason, it kind of deteriorates, which we'll get into later on. But this is just a couple examples of that. Then next up, we have a couple clips of Browning's ability to avoid the rush and make plays down the field. He doesn't do this consistently, which you'll see in a couple clips next up in terms of some of the negatives in terms of his film, but he does this on occasion, and I think that there are some positives going forward that if he can improve his ability to make throws under duress, like he's shown in these particular clips, then the sky's the limit in terms of him. So a lot of this is just on him becoming more consistent with these throws. Then with Jake Browning, we have some negatives. The number one negative I noticed with Browning is that his accuracy goes down when he's pressured. If you get a hand up, if you get anywhere near him at times, his accuracy just goes way down on those particular throws. And these are some of his worst games, but this is just to show that when he played tough competition that pressured him, got in his face, his accuracy just dipped down. And these are just a couple examples. Lots of examples, actually, of this particular issue. And not only that, when it comes to his accuracy going down with pressure, his decision making also goes down when he gets pressure in his face. Jake Browning is a fairly good decision maker from in the pocket when everything goes right, But when things get antsy, when he gets rattled, he starts to make some throws that he shouldn't make at times. And these are just a couple examples of where when he was pressured like crazy, his decision-making just kind of went down, made some poor decisions. Some of them led to interceptions, and these are a couple examples. And then, of course, the last play in particular is just a play where it's not his day. I don't normally like to say that a quarterback quit during a game, but it's pretty obvious body language-wise after this particular play that he was done against USC. So I don't like to see that from quarterbacks a ton. It was a very bad day for him, but that is something that I think some NFL teams or coaches might criticize, is just his body language at the end of these particular games, because it's pretty obvious that he was done after this particular play. So overall, when it comes to Jake Browning, the number one thing that I can say about him is there's potential based on the data that he could become a very good quarterback, because he does have really good short accuracy. He does show the ability to make plays under duress, and he does show the ability to avoid the rush and make plays down the field as well, and can hit intermediate throws, can hit short range throws. He doesn't have the biggest arm ever, but he does have an arm that's able to deliver accurate footballs. But what you can see is the big issues he had on film last year against big-time opponents like USC, like Alabama, is that when you pressure him, when you get him rattled, when you get in his face, you get hands up there, etc., his accuracy goes down, his decision-making goes down, and he's just not the same quarterback in those particular situations. And this is something he honestly can get better, because as I showed you in a couple clips earlier, he's shown that he can be under duress and make these types of throws down the field with accuracy and on time. It's just, for whatever reason, he doesn't do that as consistently as he needs to do it. So that's the number one thing that I want to see out of Jake Browning this year. I want to see him make throws under duress better. I want to see him handle pressure a lot better from inside the pocket, play with a little bit more confidence, and just make sure that his accuracy stays the same, because again, in the NFL, pressure is a normal part of the business, and if you have a quarterback that can't deliver accurate football when he's pressured, and his decision making goes way down when he's pressured, that's not good for anyone. That's just not good. So as much as there's tons of positives about him, I'm still somewhat excited about him, because he does show the ability to make those throws, to make those intermediate throws, those short accuracy throws. But the big difference between at least Sam Darnold and Browning is Darnold is able to make those throws under pressure, under duress consistently, whereas Jake Browning is not able to make those throws under pressure consistently. So that's something I want to see him improve upon, and I'm excited. And let me know below what your thoughts are on Jake Browning. If there's a quarterback in particular that you might want to see me do a film review on, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. And by the way, you can check out my work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. If you like this content, if you want more content like this, be sure to like and subscribe, share the video with friends and family and all those other kind of people. And of course, check out the 2017 NFL Draft Analytics Guide. Only available on Amazon/Kindle today. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.